Hello, everyone. This is Tarot Jean on the scene, coming in with my May 2026 cosmic forecast. And guys, it's going to be another intense month as we move forward. It's going to be intense in a different way, not the same way as March and April was, with that all that Aries energy where you physically had to take action. Like, you physically had to do something. You had to change your job, you had to change a habit, you had to change where you lived, you had to end a relationship where you physically had to do something. But now we're going to be moving into Taurus season, and well, Taurus is a sign that's practical and grounded, and it wants you to take a look around in a very practical way to see what doesn't make sense. And that Scorpio full moon starting the month of May out is definitely going to help you with that, because Scorpio, ruled by Pluto, is not interested in surface level stuff. It just is not interested in that at all. It wants to get to the heart of the matter. So what I would say is, logic says one thing and your heart and intuition says another. And that's when Scorpio comes in and says, you know what, you need to listen to your intuition, because logic doesn't always make sense. So I think that what we are going to see is just, it's not only the intimacy you have with another person, but it's the intimacy and the trust that you share with people in your life. So I think that we're going to, sometimes the way forward isn't always lit, and Pluto asks you to go deep inside and take a look at what you already know, what you may have not already acted on. Where have you been telling yourself, no, it's okay? No, Scorpio full moon says it's not okay, and you need to take a look at those things. Now, we also have Mercury that's going to enter into Taurus, and this is about how you communicate that self-worth to other people. Where do you feel like you're not being valued? Where have you in your head been like, I should say something. No, let me bite my lip. No, this is about finding a way to communicate it, a way that values you, but also values the other person, because, Mercury is about networking and about communicating. So I would say with Mercury moving into Taurus and with that Scorpio full moon, act on it in a practical way. Don't blow up. Don't use that Aries energy, that says we're going to plow our way forward. No, Taurus says speak with intention, speak with being grounded. Even if it's something you have to revisit, which is quite possible because we do have Pluto going retrograde in Aquarius. Now, what I would say with Pluto going retrograde in Aquarius, this pulls the curtains back. I think we're going to see secrets that blow our minds. I think we're about to find out stuff that is just going to honestly rock our world. With Uranus moving into Gemini now, wow, this is expecting buried truths to come up to the surface. So what I would say is, with the first 2 weeks of May, listen to your heart, listen to your intuition. Even when logic doesn't quite make sense, step back and say, hey, let me be grounded here and find out what makes sense for me, what makes sense for the people around me. What no longer fits is what retrograde Pluto in Aquarius says. What no longer fits all of us, what no longer fits in our society, and what secrets need to be unearthed for those truths to come out. So I would say that the first couple weeks of May are going to be pretty exciting, because Pluto's not one to ask gently. It does not ask gently, and neither does Uranus. So I would say with the Taurus new moon, I think we're all just going to have to slow down and smell the roses, folks. I think it's ground your energy. Go outside, take a hike, take a deep breath, enjoy some good prana. It'll be like sunlight after what we see come up to the surface, what gets exposed. What's the quiet truth, and how do we need to realistically start dealing with things that come up? What doesn't look so good, what's truly sustaining us. Are we going to have to look at how we value things? Things that we thought had value no longer have value. Uranus did leave Taurus, so we can't expect it to move and not feel some sort of financial shift. Will it be toward like I said, a cryptocurrency? It's a type of thing. We'll have to see, because with Pluto and Aquarius, the whole idea of Bitcoin was that there was no middleman. It was that you had something I wanted, I had Bitcoin, I gave you Bitcoin for whatever it was you had. So there was no middleman. So even when you look at, when Neptune was in Pisces, they tried to manipulate it, but really Bitcoin is not even what it was intended to be. It was not intended to have a middleman. So I think that we can definitely see some sort of shifts that are going to affect the economy, our wallets, finances. But again, all we have to do is rely on each other, trust in each other, make sure your family's okay, the people around you are okay. That's really what matters. We choose our timelines here. So I think that the first couple weeks, as I said, I think we're in for some shockers, and that's what I will say. Mercury will also shift into Gemini, so it will leave Taurus and shift into Gemini around the middle of the month on the 17th. Welcome to the upgrade. Welcome to the upgrade. It's walking in its own house. It's kicking off its shoes. It's comfortable, and it rules your immediate environment. So this is about taking deliberate and grounded action. This is about conversations and ideas can really be propelling you into something really amazing. You got to connect, you got to reach out. That's what I've been saying, network in the real, forget about the social media stuff, get together with your friends, pick a day during the week. So I'll be honest with you, me and my friends, we get together every Wednesday night at this one place downtown. We get together between 5:30, 6 o'clock, and there's a bunch of us. We could have up to a dozen people, and it's really who can make it. If you can't, don't worry about it. We'll see you next week. So I think it's about getting out and socializing with people in the real, because it's a lot different than what you see online. So then Mercury will enter, and after it enters Gemini, it's going to bump right into Uranus, because Uranus is going to be there at 0 degrees. So whatever ideas you get, I would write it down. Whatever quick moving, just jot it down. Maybe you don't have the time to act on it, but write it down, even if it means staying up all night. I don't care. Write it down, get those ideas out. Like I said, it's about the explosion of ideas. So it's about getting them jotted down. Mars will enter Taurus, and then Venus is going to enter Cancer on May 18th. Time to take care of ourselves. Time to take a deep breath and enjoy our homes, enjoy our yards, enjoy nature around us as Venus moves into Cancer. I think that we're going to be digesting so much that I think I'll have to do a second video when we get to that second half of the month, as I always do, because we will end the month with a Sagittarius full moon. And so I think that whatever gets revealed in the first few weeks of the month, I think that with that Sagittarius new moon coming in and giving us that higher perspective, bringing in that optimism, it's going to help us to release those limits and outgrow them in a positive way. So what I would say is stay tuned, because I will do a second video, as I always do, because this month coming up, guys, May is going to be incredible. And I think we still have a lot of secrets to be revealed, and I think we're all going to be shocked, if you want me to be quite honest with you. I have decided to make some changes. I have created a Patreon account. I haven't really done too much on it. I'm in the learning stage. But one of the things Uranus and Gemini said to me is that, I am a creative person, and I'm tired of watching a lot of these social media platforms just utilize my creative abilities and my intellectual property. And basically, I don't even get to share it with anybody because they limit it by the algorithms. So I am looking into creating a Patreon account. My Luna Paths website is there if you need to book a reading. And as always, folks, I appreciate you watching my videos. I appreciate you tuning in, and enjoy your day, my friends. Enjoy your day.